Welcome to Fast Cars Go Vroom, the podcast where we talk about all things racing, things that have wheels, they probably have engines, they might smell funny. Sometimes they compete against each other, sometimes they don't go so fast, sometimes they wreck. My name is Clint,
And I'm Rob.
and we are here to bring something to the table, some kind of knowledge about some sort of racing, and share something with each other. Hopefully, you learned something. I definitely expect to learn something today. Hopefully, we laugh a little bit. Maybe not. I don't know. We never know where this is going to go. But anyway, so Rob, you have something to bring to the table first today. What do you got?
Yeah, I'll start it off. So, in my research for doing the main segment today, I came across a couple links for the Repco Bathurst 1000. Have you heard about this race?
Never, never. I don't know what that is.
Never, really. Okay. Okay, it's really cool actually. It's a supercar championship series race. It takes place in Bathurst. I'm going to get this right. Bathurst, New South Wales, Australia. Big name there. And it's considered the people in the series call it the Great Race. It seems to be kind of like their crown jewel of the series, like their version of Monaco or Daytona. It's their big race. And like I said, takes place in Bathurst. It's at the Panorama Circuit. I can speak, I promise. And well, it's held yearly at the New South Wales Labor Day weekend, and that's like the second week of October. So for this year, it's October 8th through 11th. So like we could totally get some sort of watch party going. It seems really, really cool. So like I said, it's a thousand kilometers long. So the track itself, the circuit itself, is about 6.2 kilometers, which is 3.8 miles. So you do 161 laps and you get about 1,000 kilometers.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a moderate endurance race. It's like I said, these are supercars. So these cars are about 600 horses. You're getting about 300 kph, which again, Google Math says it's about 185 to 190 miles an hour top end. And if you want to do like a 0 to 60 type of comparison, they're approximately 3.2 to 3.5 seconds for a 0 to 60. So they got some giddy up in them. So they take these like I said, they take these cars to Bathurst to New South Wales and the circuit. So the difference between the lowest and the highest points, the elevation is 571 feet. So there is some up and down in this whole racetrack. A couple of the spots that stuck out, they have the mountain straight, which is right after the start finish line. You can get to about 160 miles an hour on this straight. And then the next real fast part, this is the part that scares me, to be honest. They call it it comes out of I'm going to pronounce this so wrong, the McPhillamy.
McPhillamy Park.
Oh God, someone from Australia is going to kill me. But McPhillamy Park
McPhillamy Park.
to the skyline. So basically, it's this blind descent. You don't see where you're going, and you're going at about 140 miles an hour.
Holy
And then
moly.
you go into this, and then you end up going into this S's course of this part of the section. So that sounds like it's terrifying. And then the last part is the fastest part of the course. It's like right before the last turn, before the start finish, you get up to 190, almost 200 miles an hour. You are flying up this straight, I think it's going up the hill.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, if we get a chance this October, I think we should get some sort of watch party. This looks so cool. I think we might even have to take some time and do a deep dive on this.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, I think we should check it out when we get a chance.
Um, all right, so I want to tell you guys, I mean, it's no secret to you, Rob, that I'm a dirt track fan, but I want to talk a little bit about a race that's pretty unique. This year it'll be happening for the 10th time. Um, we, I mean, we most race fans are somewhat familiar with some type of dirt track racing, whether it's sprint cars or stock cars or late models or modifieds or all those options. But there is an event that happens in St. Louis, Missouri in December, and it's called Dirt in December. And this is an event. There's a few things you should think about when you think about dirt racing. Typically, it's outside, right? Well, St. Louis
Right.
in December, you're not going to race on dirt outside. So it is in the dome in St. Louis. It's inside. They build a dirt, 1/5 mile dirt track. The straightaways are 50 feet wide. The turns are 60 feet wide. And they build it like imagine. I mean, a lot of people have been to a monster truck or seen monster truck courses that are built inside an arena.
Sunday, Sunday,
Yes,
Sunday.
yeah. Imagine a dirt oval built on that floor, and dirt late models racing against each other. So a dirt late model is,
That's
um,
my question for you, my friend.
yeah,
You said that the straights are 50 feet wide. How wide is a late model?
um,
Like how many of these
eight.
guys can you go three wide racing?
They do. They shouldn't, but not normally. Not in any normal late model race, they would not. But I mean, that's part of the attraction of this event. So a late model is, it's a tube frame. It's a V8, so you're talking 800 to 900 horsepower, and you put it in a
Yeah.
little what they call it a bull ring dirt track. And these guys beat the crap out of the wall. They beat the crap out of each other. It is a show, and it has turned into almost like a wrestling style event, and it is incredibly entertaining. It's usually the first weekend in December every year. And if you can't go to St. Louis, you usually see it on Flow Racing, which is, it's really good place for all kinds of racing. But anyway, yeah, it's the Gateway Dirt Nationals, and it happens at the America Center in St. Louis. And
Hell yeah.
it is a dirt race like no other. I mean, it's pretty wild.
That
It,
sounds crazy.
yeah, so I mean, if you think about just three normal cars, I mean, late models are a little boxier, than a normal car, but
Yeah.
three normal cars trying to do laps on a floor where they play basketball or NBA, like NBA style basketball or hockey, it's in an arena. That's what it is.
Yep.
And it is like they have to take clean air breaks. So there'll be so much exhaust in the building
Oh
that they have
God.
to they have to take a break between races and open the ventilation system and clean the air out before they go. They have like, mechanisms that test the quality of the air, and when it gets so bad, they have to stop it. But the event sells
Oh
out
my God.
the American Center, dude. It's crazy.
So all right. How does that compare to the Chili Bowl? Because didn't you say that's also indoors?
I forgot that I brought that up on another episode. So I've brought up two races that are indoors. So the Chili Bowl, I mean, those are midget cars. So those cars are like 6 feet long and 2.5 to 3 feet wide. The Chili Bowl is much smaller cars on dirt, and then the late models is, I mean, it's a full size car, but on about the same
Yeah.
size track. So the track is not a whole lot different. You just got a much bigger car and a lot less room when you consider the size of the car and the horsepower too. You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty wild.
Yeah. I've seen those late models. Those things, they're beasts.
Yeah, I like to call them
They really are
dirt boats is what I call them. And the aerodynamics on them
apt.
are made to like create downforce to push the tires into the dirt, so you get more
Hmm.
traction. Um, And I don't even know on a track that small if the aerodynamics are even really a factor. Like, do you even get fast enough for it to matter? But anyway, you can check it out on YouTube or look at it on socials. But it's quite the event. So what am I going to learn today? What do you got? What kind of?
Well, I have a question for you first.
Okay.
What's the name of the Duolingo owl? Do you know?
No, I
I know
don't.
it's not Hootie. That's Darius Rucker. That's Darius Rucker. But
No.
whatever the little Duolingo owl is, He is I and I is he, because I'm going to teach you a new language.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yes, let's go.
All right, cool. You know rally stages.
Yep.
Have you played any like rally games or anything like that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you've gotten the co-driver directions. Did you ever understand what the hell was coming across the board? Do you know what was going on?
Not really, no.
Late small cut, narrow exit to medium 5 right.
Yeah, neither did I. I had no clue.
I
And
love to watch those videos.
I love watching it, but I'm listening to it. It's like, well, what's going on? And by the time I figure anything out, we're already like 5 miles down the road.
4 right, late cut, flat, 100.
But that's why I decided to come up with this little guide, and I'll just text you every hour or so to make sure you're learning this. Okay?
Okay.
You got it. So these are what the co-driver is doing for the driver. He has what's called pace notes or stage notes, and it's basically a GTA mini map, but in human form, right? In America, the majority of the American rally series, what they'll do is the course director, they have like a course crew, if you will, like a driver and a co-driver, and they will drive the course with what's called the JEMBA Inertia Notes System. It's this super fancy super fancy high-tech device. It has GPS, accelerometers, speedometers, odometers, any other dometers that's out there. They have all of that in this device, and what it'll do, it'll get all the data, translate it into this navigational language, what that everyone has used for years and years and years. Now that's the American version, but in the rest of the world, what they do is they do reconnaissance runs. This is how it used to be done. So you get 2 runs essentially. The first run, the driver's coming down, telling the co-driver, "Hey, I have this turn here, this jump," and the co-driver's writing it all down. Second run, they go through, and now it's the co-driver's turn to read those instructions back. And as they're going through the second recon run, they say, "Okay, let's adjust this note here, this turn here, this and that and the other." But both ways of doing this, they come out with the same language on the end, and that's the cool part. That's really, really the interesting part of it all. So we'll start with the easy things. I'm not going to lose you on this. Turns, left, right. Got that?
Yep.
It still stays easy here. They have a numerical system to these turns, 1 through 6. So the lower the number, the more severe the turn. So the basic way to think of it, like a 1 is a hairpin. 6 is like a sweeper. You're barely touching the wheel. You're still flat out. You're hauling, but you just have to, avoid the tree that is directly in front of you. That
Okay.
type of thing. So it's easy. Now, the number itself refers to the actual like radius, the arc of the turn, and that's important a little bit later on. For us novices, it's not exact, but a good like general guide. The number almost refers to the gear you have to be in. So if you're going around and you get a right 1, you're going to have to drop down basically to first gear so you can make this turn without, just flying the hell off the track. So it's not exact, but it's kind of a guide.
It's a suggestion.
Cool. Yeah, pretty much. So that's the basic. Like if you were an amateur driver, you could kind of get away with knowing that. The really, really advanced driver, co-driver teams still have a plus minus system. So you'll have a +1, a 1, and a -1. So you have now 3 threes instead of just 6. So it's now 18 total like descriptions of a turn, if you will. That's what gets super advanced. It just starts going. It's a completely totally new language, and it's intense when you like, get down to it.
Got 250, 5 minus left over crest, 120, 120, 5 minus right, 200.
Another modifier, the reason why I said the number refers to a radius, is long and short. So you could say a right 3 long. So it's a right 3, but that radius keeps going for a long time. So you're holding that same turn for a longer time than just the right 3.
So
Again, gets really, really descriptive just with short words.
so 3 is less of an arc than 1. 1 is sharper.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And you can put turns together by saying opens or tightens. So you can say left 5 opens 6. So basically you're saying you're turning hard and then it starts opening into a sweeper, but you're still kind of turning. And the real good teams, if you start listening really closely, you're like, oh, he lays out this road perfectly in just a couple words and numbers.
50 left 5 plus, opens into crest, 50 right 6 into crest, 100, small crest, 70.
That's the description of all your turns. It gets really detailed, but just by saying a plus, a minus, a short, a long, you can give the driver a visual description in his mind of what he's about to go into, which is so super cool. There's a couple distance numbers you need to know, like 40, 50, 120. These are yards. They count in yards. I think they even do that in the world rallies. So you can say left 1, 150, right 2. So you're saying you're going to do a hard left turn, and then 150 yards later, you're going to do not as hard, but you're still going to do a right turn, a hard right turn after that. So a couple other things, and then we'll wrap it all up. But this is a couple other modifiers, because you'll have crests and jumps. Because again, this is a rally course. You're going to go up and down and flying. So you got to tell your driver, hey, we have a crest. So think of like right 3 over crest. So that means a medium speed turn that has a hill or a crest in the middle of it. So as you're turning, you're going to take some air. Get ready to land and keep your turn. So there's over crest, there's into crest. For example, crest into right 3. You're going over the hill, and as you land, you have a right 3. Or the opposite, right 3 into crest, you're doing your right 3. And as soon as you get out of that thing, get ready to take some air.
20, right 4 plus, bumps, 70, sleepy entry chicane, left 4 minus, 150, bumpy right 5 minus.
This is the part you really need to pay attention to. If we're gonna do a rally stage together, you need to hear this. The cautions. You have single, double, and triple. And as you can probably guess, it gets more severe.
So you're talking about a caution that the navigator is giving. They're giving a caution?
You know ahead that there is some part of the track, like a big ass boulder in the way, or a tree down that came down a few days ago that they never cleared, but is part of the track, or a cliff face. There is something you need to know that's going to be dangerous. So a single caution, there's a high probability of a crash. Slow your ass down. Thank you. A double caution, the probability of the crash goes up, but this time it starts, including the fact that we might total the car. That's a bad thing. And then the final one, a triple caution, obviously the highest probability, and now you're risking my life and you better slow down.
Trying to think of what would be a triple caution. Like you see in some of these races, people don't judge these turns right, or it's super narrow and they end up in the woods, or send people scattering, running, spectators scattering. But it sounds like there's the triple caution or something like that might be all those modifiers are to set you up for that, but there may be other factors in there that they know about or they learn about.
Yeah. And like I said, you've done a recon mission beforehand, or in an American race, a course director has done the recon mission. So this is a known thing that's already there.
Oh, okay.
On the track. It's not like, oh, they had an accident beforehand, triple caution. No, we know this is here. So please be careful.
Wow. So are you gonna give me a spiel? Do you have one prepared?
Nope.
I knew you would ask this, and I should have set one. I should have set one up. Somebody out there who does rally goes, dude, you just had the course triple over
So
itself 100 times. You ran yourself over,
what
and you
was
ran
the
3 guys over. The one I did right, I have right 3 over crest, 150, left 2.
Okay,
So
I knew you
that
had
basically
one.
says
That's why I
I
asked. I
have
knew
one, but it's
you were holding out on me the whole time.
I don't have a good one. Like I don't have a professional one where they just go plus minus long short. This is as simple as it gets.
Line right 4 plus 10, slippy maybe, water left 2 plus, stay out. 70, crest into right 6 long, opens 50, right 3 minus, into left 3 narrow.
This is the stuff I'm going to be texting you for the next couple of days.
Oh yeah, that first of all, I am not I would never be qualified for that job. I don't care how much
No,
studying
no
I
chance.
do. I wouldn't if you were driving, you would be screaming at me like, "What are you going to tell me what's going on? You are do your job." And I'm going to be like,
I wouldn't
look
be
out
able
for
to
these."
get I I wouldn't be able to get anything out, man. I wouldn't be able to say anything.
I'd be looking at the people. Don't hit the people. Look out for the people.
Look at that guy. Oh God. I sent you a video earlier today. Maybe we can get it put up here. And I got to make sure I have the right driver's name. Let me double check real quick. Okay. Takamoto Katsuta.
Okay.
I hope I did not butcher his name. He's a rally driver, and I sent you a video of this. And if we can put this up here, but his power steering went out in the middle of the circuit, of the middle of the rally. So you know how it is when you drive without power steering. You are every inch of your shoulder power, your arm power, you're turning that wheel, especially if the car is at a lower speed. And if you've ever seen a rally car, they have their gear shift on a big long pole lever, and then they have their emergency brake on another one next to it. So
Right.
they're color coded, so you know what you're doing. So as you're driving along, if you have a hard, an L1, you're going to use your e-brake, and then you're going to shift, use your e-brake. But because his power steering's out, he needs to use both of his hands to make these turns. And again, if we can get the video up, this is amazing. He's yelling to his co-driver when to pull the e-brake so he can make his turns. He'll shift, and as his co-driver's pulling the e-brake, his co-driver's holding the notes going L1 150 R2 plus, and then like I said, the driver's yelling, now brake.
he's pulling it with his left
150.
hand. Yeah.
This is an amazing drive. Just watching these two guys work and coordinate together
One of the things,
and not fall off the road.
yeah, one of the things that I've thought about with this style of racing is that there's no good way to get footage of it other than in the car or one turn, right? Because the course is so big.
Yeah.
Like probably these things don't have a budget for helicopters, and you know what I mean. But like that's I want to see what this looks like from 100 feet in the air. I want to see all of these. I want to see the L1. What is it? Was that right? Left
Yeah.
comes for L1
Yeah,
150,
L1.
and then I want to see the next one. Like
Yeah.
I want to hear that, and I want to see it from above, not just in the car. Even though I do love the videos inside the car.
Yeah.
But that is crazy.
Literally is a language, because back in the day it was more descriptive. So instead of like an L1, you'd have left hairpin or left sweep. Like you'd actually say the words, but it evolved over time into this number system for brevity's sake, really.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Really cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna be up too late tonight watching rally videos now.
Yeah, I fell down that rabbit hole today. So let's see what I'm going to see what the algorithm spits back at me with YouTube here.
Right on. Cool, man. We appreciate your research on that. That's a lot.
Yes, sir. That was a lot of fun.
I feel like
it was.
I feel like I just went to back to Miss Hamby's algebra class in seventh grade or something. Yeah.
Oh man, she gets a shout out here, huh?
Yeah, man. The best, one of the best teachers I ever had. Um,
That's awesome.
cool. Well, I definitely learned something. I have never really thought about like all of the descriptors and the level of that. I just thought it was, turn, 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 whatever. I don't know, but
Really
right
cool.
on. Well, we appreciate you guys coming back to Fast Cars Go Vroom. We hope you learned something today. I hope you're slightly entertained. And we will keep cranking out the episodes and see what else we can find until we get to the end of the internets. And then we'll start with the AI and see what AI brings to us. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Start
stuff
all
out
over
there.
and do it again.
Lots of stuff. We haven't even talked about anything on two wheels yet. So there's
No.
there's a lot more out there to get to. Um,
Hell, if there's a unicycle race, I'll talk about that too.
yeah, we're just scratching the surface. So if you got an idea, you heard of something that you want us to dig into, please leave a comment. And you can find us on anywhere you listen to podcasts. If you haven't seen us on YouTube, check out the YouTube channels. Um, this these couple of weeks, you saw me in a hotel room because I was traveling for work. And Rob is far more professional with his digital background there with an actual race car on it. So. All right. Thank you guys for
All
listening,
right.
and we will see you all next time on Fast Cars Go Vroom.